Nothing in this world is better than right before I'm about to perform.
The biggest thing to remember when you're performing is to not overthink it. Just feel it.
When I am out here, I know I'm doing what I'm meant to do.
Sometimes I feel like we're standing on the edge of something great.
I will never forget these people. They are a part of me.
Performing is like nothing else I've ever experienced. It can't be defined in black and white. No one can define it because when you perform, nothing is known or shaped in advance. You make it yourself, make it what you want. It's yours.
I have to remind myself that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and you should cherish every moment, good or bad.
I may not have gone where I intended to be, but I think I ended up where I needed to be.
The biggest part of yourself is your experiences and the people who you share them with.
Life is nothing without people to share it with.
Music has a way of changing your perspective on something completely.
I think the only way I can explain how I feel is by saying this. For me, music makes the world go round. And if it weren't for music, I don't know where I'd be today. I can't imagine my life without it. It means everything to me.
It was awesome. It was absolutely, hands down, my most favorite year. The people were just awesome. There wasn't much fighting, like, in between my section. But, I mean, we did butt heads every once in a while. But it had to be the greatest year all around.
Even though, like, it didn't turn out like we wanted, I mean, I believe we did the best that we could do. That was my best performance, was semifinals. It was emotional, it was great, it was awesome. My senior year was just like the best ever. Like, I cannot describe how close everyone was and how good people worked together. People who don't normally work good together, like in past years, they came together. We had this great show, and it was just amazing.
My senior year was probably the best year that I've ever been in band. We were a close-knit family. There wasn't any arguments or anything like that. I think the seniors really held together the band, and we all just got along, and I think that was a key part to our success this year.
My senior year has definitely been my best year so far, because every year that I've been in band, it's been sort of like I've been a part of it, but it's never really felt like a family to me. Like, this year is like the year I really connected with everyone, and even though we didn't win, to me that didn't really matter, because like whenever we lost and we were all headed to go back to the hotel to watch finals, a lot of people were getting upset and they were complaining a lot. And whenever I thought about it, I realized it doesn't really matter whether or not you win or lose. It matters about the experience you had. Like we always said, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And so that's really what made my senior year great, is because I've never had as good a journey as that. Going to state, going to the competitions, spending time with my section, with everyone else in the band. I've never really enjoyed a year as much as I have this year.
My senior year was worth it. The sweat, the tears in the end, and the friendships I've made through band, they've all made my senior year just a blast. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else because I know we had a great show.
execution, energy, right?
Yes.
And go out there and have fun.
The 2011 Blue and Gold Grand Championship, presented by Dr. Wayne Andrews, is awarded to Mercer County High School Band from Harrodsburg.
It's been very important. You know, I've done a lot of things like basketball, baseball, and, you know, sports as a young kid, and I never stuck with them. I did 1 year of football, and then all of a sudden you join band and it's just something clicks with you. And, you know, as much as you want to quit because you're getting yelled at every day. If you don't do your best, you're kind of tearing yourself up inside. So something about band just makes you want to go through to the end.
This might sound corny, but it's literally the most important thing. It's defined my entire school career. And I always, like, if I have a tough day, I'm always like, okay, if I make it to the end of the day, I'm going to be a band. It's going to be good for me.
I think it's definitely been one of the most important things in my high school career because it's just what I wake up and like during band season I'm just like, oh, well, today's band, you know. Yeah, it's just, you know, what you do. You wake up and you're like, oh, today's band, and you know, you're just like, ah. But, you know, it's just, I'll miss it, definitely.
I've met all my best friends through band. Before, like, everyone else in our grade started joining band, I was like a loner. It was like me and Haven together, and she's still one of my best friends, so it's been really important in my like relationships and how I feel about music now because it's just a part of me. Band is a part of you.
When I started off, I couldn't read bass clef. I was like, what is this? Because I only knew treble clef and flute, and I didn't know that you could make notes out of like the same fingerings with different intonations. And so when I started off, I was just like, how do I do this? And Rachel, she helped me a lot, like Rachel Casey. I wouldn't have been able to do anything if she didn't help me.
It's been everything to me. Band has changed my life. It's made me who I am today.
I remember state first year ever going there, going around that corner, just seeing all those people there, and just, I don't know, you're excited, you're nervous, and you're scared at the same time, but good feeling. It's amazing.
Right as we're getting ready to take the field, when they call our name and the crowd goes crazy, and at the end, after we're done. The show is always so much fun to perform, but those are the two moments that I live for the most.
Looking up and just seeing everyone cheer and just being inside of your own mind, but also projecting everything that you're feeling out and just being there.
It feels so great when we're performing. It's like we're one, is what it feels like. Especially when you hear the sound, any sound that we come up with, not just beautiful music, but even when it sounds bad, it's a great feeling knowing that you're doing it with people that you love and that you love to be around.
We go through the same things, the same pains, the same happiness, and we share everything. So, when you share everything, you tend to bond.
Because the friendships you make here, they last for so long. I mean, the friends that I have now, I met in middle school, and we're still friends. And I'm so glad I made those friendships.
We're all fighting for the same goal, and it's not like basketball or football or baseball where it's one of you at a time. It's that you're all working in unison. You all fit together and you're doing the same thing, and you communicate, and the music, you feel the emotion. When you spin, you feel the emotion. You get together that feeling, and I think that's why we're all so close. You spend so much time together, and you want that same thing so bad that you just become a family.
Probably a family organization because you know these people all your life basically, and you're so close, and no matter what you look like, who you are, what size you are, everybody loves you, and I think that's why it's such a big family.
My drum line. I'll miss them most. And the seniors too, because we were close.
Definitely the competitions. Feeling that rush of adrenaline the day of, getting prepared, getting dressed, and feeling just that jolt of energy right before you step on the field. I'm going to miss that the most.
I'm gonna miss the bus rides. They were the best. I mean, Darby, Miles Lane, all of them were singing in the back, and then me and Jamie would fall asleep in the seats, and she would have her foot hanging out the window. I mean, it was the best time because you just laugh and take pictures of everybody looking stupid.
I'm going to miss all my friends. I mean, of course, everyone's going to say that, but you really will. You know, you spend so much time with them during band season. You are together all the time. And I'll just miss the ridiculous things that happen. I'll miss being at practice and figuring things out together, saying, hey, Jessica, look at what we can do now, you know, or just being silly. I'll miss the time. And
I guess all the crazy times I've had at band camp. I mean, goofing off, senior lunch, coming back from that.
It gives you belonging. It gives you just so much accomplishment. You feel so accomplished when you just walk on the field and you know that you've done everything you can do, and then you walk off. Nothing can describe that feeling you get.
I would say they need to do it because they're going to grow as a person. And you know, as you get older in band, it doesn't become so much about power, but it becomes, you know, you need to teach people younger than you what you've done so they can become more successful in life. And, you know, just to grow as a person and to have more responsibility and self-control and stuff like that.
It's the best decision you'll ever make. Just the experiences you gain from getting in band and doing what you love. And you have to love it to do it, obviously, because 3 hours after school, every 3 days or so, and competitions and a whole nother thing.
It's a group effort. It's not just one person. It proves that you need to work together to achieve your goals. And I think it teaches you great discipline. So I loved marching band.
I would say that you need to be in band for a lot of reasons. It teaches you how to be yourself, and it teaches you about yourself. Because whenever you spend hours upon hours of practicing in a music performance, and whenever you get out and you perform, you're yourself. You're not someone you're not. You can go hang with your friends and you can be, you know, you can put up a facade. But whenever you're playing music, you're really who you are emotionally. You're putting yourself out there. And I have to say, definitely for anyone who wants to join band, to join it and do it. Because the hours you spend practicing and playing are going to be the best ever. Because, you know, playing my instrument, it's been my best friend and my most honest friend. Because it's told me if I haven't done my work, and it tells me I haven't been slacking off. Or if I've done my job, you know, it says, good job, you know, here's what you can do. And really, it's going to be something you can always go back to. It really helps you.
know that your dog said.
I'm Bailey, and I just love band so much. It's great. Oh, and listen to this, Massachusetts. I can't say yes this.
I felt a sense of like belonging, I guess, because, you know, I've been in it. It's like all my high school career, you know, I've been in it my whole entire high school career, and like it would be weird, I guess, not to be in it, you know, like if I had just been like, oh, I'm done, I'm quitting, and, you know, I didn't come back the next day, it would just be so weird, you know, and I'm just glad I stuck it out.
Whenever I first started, it was hard and everything, but I wanted to prove that I could actually go through with it and that I could actually prevail when others would fail.
I don't know, I feel like my parents were a big deal with that because they really wanted me to stick with band like my brothers. And because, I don't know, no matter how much I tried to get away, I just couldn't. I felt like a lot of people relied on me to stick with it and that it would just be a good thing in the end.
Because I knew this was too important for that. I knew that this is where I needed to be in the long run.
Staying to me means you're finishing what you started. I mean, it's to convince yourself to stay sometimes is hard because you hate the sweat and you hate getting mad and you hate feeling like I'm never gonna figure this out. But then at the end of the day, when you finish that and you think, wow, I did do this and I didn't think that was ever gonna happen, that's a really good feeling. And being able to stick it through and finish something with that many people is a really great feeling.
Probably my favorite memory of band was 2009 semifinals, and I was scared to death because I had that sick solo with the rifle. And I just knew if I dropped it, we were not going to finals. I just had that pressure on myself, and I was crying, and Jessica was just telling me it'd be okay, nothing would go wrong, and she was proud of me and she had faith in me, which of course I lost it. And then as soon as the show starts going, I toss it, and it was the only time all season I caught it perfect. And I was just a hot mess the entire show because I was just crying and my face was all red. But I don't know, I just felt so proud of myself that I actually did what I was asked to do.
I think the best memories I'll have is just going out there and every single time and giving it all I got, just every time I get to perform.
Everyone was like really tired and they were putting all their stuff away, and me and someone else were just walking by, and Adam is taking off his hat and he's just like, who will have the honor of holding my sweaty hat? And it was the funniest thing ever.
The one memory that sticks out most to me was, it was either one of my first competitions or my very first competition. And it was during the performance, we were doing this horrible backwards marching set. And I stepped on David May, who was a senior at the time, his foot, and he bumped into Adam McRae, and he did a backwards like somersault on the field. And whenever we got off the field, he was so mad because that was the only time he's ever fallen in a marching band competition, and he just yelled at me and laid into me. And it was that day I thought of every single time in marching band to motivate me to just be like, I'm never gonna let this happen again. And no matter what, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure I can always do the best. And that's probably been the one memory that's carried through marching band more than the others.
My favorite band memory is definitely this year at Moorhead when they were announcing the grand champion. You know, I got called up there once, and then I got called up there 5 different times for different awards, so that was definitely my favorite band memory, you know, not only because I was receiving the trophies, but I was getting the awards to show these kids what they've done, over these past few months, that, it's not just about getting yelled at in blood, sweat, and tears. It's about showing people what you're capable of, and, that's what they had. They had these trophies to show them that, they achieved such great things.
My favorite moment was our first competition when we got our best percussion in 4A and showing the drum line how awesome it is to win that trophy.
You walked with me, footprints in the sand, and helped me understand where I'm going. You walked with me when I was all alone, with so much unknown along the way. Then I heard you say, I promise you I'm always there. When your heart is filled with sorrow and despair, I'll carry you when you need a friend. You'll find my footprints in the sand. I see my life flash across the sky. So many times have I been so afraid. And just when I thought I lost my way, you gave me strength to carry on. That's when I heard you say, I promise you I'm always there. When your heart is filled with sorrow and despair, and I'll carry you when you need a friend. You'll find my footprints in the sand. When I'm weary, well, I know you'll be there, and I can feel you when you say, I promise you I'm always there. When your heart is filled with sorrow and despair, I'll carry you when you need a friend. You'll find my footprints in the sand. I see my life flash across the sky. So many times have I been so afraid. And just when I thought I lost my way, you gave me strength to carry on. That's when I heard you say, I promise you I'm always there. When your heart is filled with sorrow and despair, and I'll carry you when you need a friend.
this world is better than right before I'm about to perform. When I am out here, I know I'm doing what I'm meant to do.
Mercer County High School, you may take the field.
Performing is like nothing else I've ever experienced. It can't be defined in black and white. No one can define it because when you perform, nothing is known or shaped in advance. You make it yourself, make it what you want. It's yours. I may not have gone where I intended to be, but I think I ended up where I needed to be.
You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have.
biggest part of yourself is your experiences and the people who you share them with.
Life is nothing without people to share it with.
I will never forget these people. They are a part of me.
Music has a way of changing your perspective on something completely.
No matter what the outcome, we've proven it to ourselves.
I think the only way I can explain how I feel is by saying this. For me, music makes the world go round. And if it weren't for music, I don't know where I'd be today. I can't imagine my life without it. It means everything to me.